My understanding was that in his discussions he spoke about the Jews having everything on the spiritual realm, and the fact that we then needed this physical sanctuary was actually a detractor. I mean, I don't have any views that I'm expressing in this question about Zionism. What I am trying to work out, though, is, especially in this community, when you do hear things like some people saying that the Frum are the only Zionists and the Frum are the real Zionists, is there a dichotomy between different Jews in what they're after, or can there be this gelling or fusing of different intentions and everyone living in harmony?
Well, to answer your question, number one, all Jews have a basic book of laws. There's no difference who they are and where they're at. Every Jew that's born as a Jew, he has the book of laws, which is the Torah that has to guide him. Whether he accepts it or not, that's another story. But he is obligated to follow that, and it's a schus for him to follow that. With that, he's going to fulfill his mission for which he was brought into this world, and for the mission which Hashem created the world. If you divert from that and you make a change, like somebody who lives in a country which has a certain constitution, has a certain set of rulings, and somebody does contrary, he gets punished, but that doesn't make him not a citizen anymore. He still remains a citizen. So a Jew, every Jew, regardless of what he does when he grows up, is a loyal, as I mentioned before, is a Jew, and there should be no conflict. Now, one of the major teachers that the Siddists came to teach us how that we can combine the materialistic world and the spiritual world. They're not two separate entities. They're actually one entity, which means to say that from the material world we can reach the higher levels of spirituality, from spiritualism. That means that we don't deny the material world. On the contrary, we want to imbue and want to penetrate into the material world something of spiritualism, of kedusha, of holiness, till that we will combine the material world and the spiritual world, that there will become one entity, which means that there will not be any conflict between the two of them. And the same thing is among Jews. We try to get every Jew to realize and appreciate what he is. Any from this side of the room? Nobody? Yes?
I just recently had an experience which was very alienating. I went into a Jewish bookshop. I wanted to buy a set of the Torah for children, and I asked the lady, what age group would you recommend this for? And she said to me in a tone of voice, I wasn't wearing a hat or a shako, how religious are you? How religious are you? And this, to me, is that there are many, many Jewish people who don't understand that all of us are born Jews, and every single one of us was extremely religious at birth, and that's what we all are, and we're all one people. And unfortunately, it seems to me that there are, many who feel, well, you belong to this group, you belong to that group, which group do you belong to? Prove who you are, and if you don't mind, the proof was, one person defended me, oh, I know you're Jewish, you've been to this bookshop before. So there.
Did you ever hear the saying that one spoiled apple doesn't spoil the whole apple tree?
And I'm sorry I brought it up.
Okay, as I said before, it's not only the Lubavitcher viewpoint. The Lubavitcher viewpoint is based over everything on Torah and Halacha.
Yeah.
We believe in every Jew. The Torah believes in every Jew.
Yeah.
Hashem believes in every Jew. There's no bad Jew, so to say,
yeah,
in a certain sense. There are Jews that appreciate and understand what they have to do. There are Jews that, for one reason, those are not knowledgeable about the Torah. And the other Jew who does know has to try to explain to him. We don't ignore any Jew. We accept every Jew, as I said before. As the Rebbe said, regardless of what the outer layers look like, we have to look inside, and therefore every Jew is part of us. It's not something different that we're trying to change somebody. We're trying to reveal, as I said. We believe that it has. If some person has a different viewpoint than that one single person, he doesn't change the viewpoint of the Torah. He doesn't change the viewpoint of the Hasidic philosophy. He doesn't change the viewpoint of Halacha. So therefore, I don't think you should be offended by that. You should just say that it's a pity on this person that he doesn't realize what a Jewish person is, and I would not be get alienated from it, just the contrary, you would then feel that you have an obligation to enlighten that person, that he shall understand what a Jew is.
Thank you.
That's how I would take it.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I don't know. But, is there a view on? I beg your pardon. Is there a view on democracy? If some land is not given back with a large Arab population, then for Israel to continue a democracy could be problematic. What is your view on it?
You know, there was once a member of the Congress of the Knesset, that is, by the name of Ariel Sharon. She is a very extreme rightist. When the Yirgun Begun's party had to be underground, she was one of the most staunch, outspoken people to encourage the youth that they should stand up against the English people and to see to it that Israel should become part of belong to the Jewish people. She was a very strong person. After the establishment of the state, and she became a member of the Knesset, she came to the Rebbe. She was by the Rebbe a few times. The first time she came to the Rebbe, she came out and she told me that the Rebbe is very concerned. Jewish people have taken upon themselves family planning. They want to limit themselves to how many children they should have. The Arabs, he says, are just the opposite. And he asked Ariel Sharon that she should make for that reason alone that you're saying, in order that the number of Arabs should not exceed the number of the Jews, for that reason alone, that we should be able to democratically hold on to Israel, stop family planning, and have more Jews come, and also to make a campaign so more people come to Israel. But that was the Rebbe's concern very much. And therefore he spoke to him, he said, not just the contrary, we have to try to find a way that there should be a majority of Jewish people, not less. And then it would be a democracy on that basis also.
Very clear response. Thank you.
Yes?
Yeah, what I wanted to know, did the Rebbe ever talk about why it is that the people who are going to become prime ministers, before they become prime minister, they say all sorts of things which seem to indicate that they understand what the situation is and they know what they're going to do and they sound like they're going to do things that are very sensible, and then they get into that position. Did the Rebbe ever speak about that? And they completely changed.
Did he ever speak? Did he ever not speak about it?
I know he spoke to
many
their
occasions,
actions,
and the Rebbe said, I really do not have a real positive answer, explanation why that happens. The only thing that I could think of that Rebbe said, that these people are afraid that if they will speak their mind, the way they spoke before they were appointed, before they were elected, that they may lose their bench, their chair. And because they want to hang on to this is the word what the Rebbe said, they want to be sure that they'll be able to tie themselves down to the chair, they're willing to give up what their inner feeling is, what they really understand, in order to remain on the Beitel, so to say, as we say in Yiddish. And the Rebbe spoke about who knows how many times, that I just don't understand why these people change as soon as they come over the ladder. In fact, he told the Sharon, I hope that when you go up, that you remain at that same opinion and that same attitude that you are now and not make any change. And I told that to him when I met him. I said, don't you remember the Rebbe asked you, keep that way of life, keep that set, that approach that you had then, but you have to know that Sharon, after the 1948 war, he was the one who got Jerusalem to belong to Yidden.
67.
He went from house to house, and he chased the Arabs out of their homes. We have videos of that.
Mid-67.
Not 48.
48.
Yeah, the first war. Milchemes HaShichur, the independence war.
Near the other side, like not the old city, but the other part, New Jerusalem.
All of Jerusalem. We lost it later because something happened wrong. But he was the one, we see pictures, and everybody knows that it wasn't for Sharon, who took that strength. He went from house to house, and he offered the money. If they didn't want money, he told them that, you'll be hurt. And that's how he took over. Who made all the settlements in Yehuda the Shomer and the West Bank and all over? When he was the infrastructure secretary, he set up those, and he told me. He told us that I'm the one who made this. So I asked him, what made you change now? How come you're doing such a change? Just the contrary.